Okay, so let's be real for a sec. Job hunting. It's like, ugh, it can be a real soul crusher sometimes, you know?
Yeah, tell me about it,
Oh.
especially now with all this talk about AI taking over and
Yeah.
those applicant tracking systems, like there's some kind of gatekeeper to your dream job.
Right. It's like you spend hours crafting the perfect resume and then bam! Some algorithm decides you're not a good fit before a human even glances at it.
Hmm.
So that's where this whole role catcher thing comes in, right? We're doing a deep dive today to figure out if it's the real deal. Like, can it actually help us navigate this brave new world of AI-powered job
Well,
hunting?
that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Hmm.
From the looks of it, they seem to be promising a lot, almost like a secret weapon to combat those pesky algorithms.
Yeah, and we've got a ton of info to sift through. Feature lists, FAQs, they even have career guides. It's like they threw everything about job searching into a blender and hit turbo.
Okay, so before we get lost in the weeds, maybe we should start with the basics. What exactly is RoleCatcher and what are they trying to do?
Yeah, good point. So, from what I've gathered, RoleCatcher is kind of like a career sidekick, but with a heavy dose of AI magic. Their big thing is helping you understand how AI is changing the game of recruitment. And then, more importantly, giving you the tools to actually use that to your advantage.
Interesting. So it's not just about finding a job, it's about understanding the system and playing it smart,
Exactly.
which, let's be honest, is crucial these days.
Yeah.
Because like you said earlier, gone are the days of simply emailing your resume and hoping for the best.
Oh, absolutely. You've got to be strategic, you've got to stand out, and apparently, RoleCatcher claims to help you do just that.
I'm intrigued, but how? What
Yeah.
specifically are they offering that's so different from, say, a traditional job board?
Well, for starters, they've got this feature called RoleCatcher.capture. And let me tell you, as someone who perpetually has 20 tabs open during a job search, this thing is a game changer.
Okay, I'm listening. Tell me more.
So imagine this. You're scrolling through LinkedIn, Indeed, whatever job board you're on, and you see a listing that catches your eye. Instead of bookmarking it and hoping you remember to go back later, you just hit the RoleCatcher.capture button and it's instantly saved to your RoleCatcher account, all neat and organized, ready for you to review later.
Wow, okay, that's actually pretty slick, especially for someone like me who's organizationally challenged, to say the least.
Right. It's like they took all the chaos of job hunting and said, nope, we're streamlining this whole process.
I like it. But it's not just about finding the jobs, is it? It's about what happens next, the application, the dreaded interview. Does RoleCatcher offer any help in those areas?
Oh, yeah, they've got you covered there too.
Yeah.
And this is where their AI features really come into play. They claim to analyze your resume, identify your key skills, and then, get this, they actually suggest ways to tailor your resume to better match specific job descriptions.
Hold on. So they're saying their AI can figure out what employers are looking for and then help you tweak your resume to make it more appealing.
That's the gist, yeah. But whether it actually works is a whole other story. We'll have to dig into that a bit later.
Agreed. This is getting interesting, though. Let's take a quick break and then dive into the nitty-gritty of these AI features, because I'm dying to know if they're all hype or the real deal.
Okay, so back to RoleCatcher and their AI-powered bag of
All right,
tricks.
because we left off on that cliffhanger. Can their AI actually help you tailor your resume and make it, like, magically more appealing to recruiters?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And to be honest, the skeptic in me is always wary of these grand claims.
Oh, absolutely. It's easy to throw around buzzwords like AI and algorithm, but the proof is in the pudding, right?
Exactly. But from what I've gathered, RoleCatcher's approach is a bit more nuanced than just keyword stuffing.
Okay, so how does it actually work?
So they claim their AI doesn't just look for obvious keyword matches between your resume and the job description. It actually tries to understand the context of those keywords. Like if a company is looking for a creative problem solver, RoleCatcher will analyze your experience to see if you've actually demonstrated that skill in the past,
Hmm.
even if you haven't explicitly used those exact words on your resume.
Hmm. Interesting. So it's kind of like having a super-powered reader who can connect the dots between your experience and what employers are looking for.
Exactly. And it goes beyond just the resume. They also have this whole AI-powered interview prep thing.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that earlier. Tell me more, because interviews are my personal nightmare.
I hear you. They can be super nerve-wracking. But basically, RoleCatcher lets you record yourself answering common interview questions. And then their AI analyzes your responses and gives you feedback.
Whoa, wait a minute. It analyzes your responses. Like, what kind of feedback are we talking about?
Everything, from your clarity and conciseness to your body language and even your tone of voice.
No way. It can tell how you're holding yourself during a video interview.
That's what they claim. Apparently, their AI has been trained on a massive data set of interview footage. So it can pick up on things like nervous tacitics, lack of eye contact, even if you're using too many filler words.
Okay, that's both impressive and slightly terrifying. It's like having a virtual interview coach scrutinizing your every move.
Right. But hey, if it helps you project confidence and ace that interview, maybe it's worth a little scrutiny,
Right,
right?
true, true. So we've got the resume optimization, the interview prep. What else does RoleCatcher offer?
Well, beyond the AI stuff, they have a ton of other resources, like those career guides we talked about earlier.
Oh yeah, the centrifuge operator one, right?
That's the one. It's not every day you see that alongside advice for software engineers and murder.
I know, right? It's like they're saying, hey, we've got something for everyone, no matter how niche your interests.
Exactly. And I think that's actually a really important point about RoleCatcher. They seem to understand that the career landscape is changing. It's not just about climbing the corporate ladder anymore. People are looking for different things, pursuing more unconventional paths.
Absolutely. And having a platform that recognizes and supports that diversity of career goals is huge.
Totally. But let's be real for a sec. All of this sounds great in theory, but does it actually translate into real-world results? That's the question we need to answer.
Right, because at the end of the day, nobody wants a fancy AI-powered tool that doesn't actually help them get hired.
Exactly.
So how do we know if RoleCatcher is the real deal or just another overhyped tech solution?
Well, that's where things get a little tricky, because there's no magic formula for job hunting success. And even with the best tools and resources, it ultimately comes down to your skills, experience, and how well you present yourself.
Okay, so it's not like RoleCatcher is going to guarantee you a dream job.
Definitely not. But I think what they're trying to do is give you an edge. Like, they're providing you with the knowledge and resources to navigate the job search process more strategically and confidently.
So it's about working smarter, not just harder.
Exactly. And that's never a bad thing, right?
Definitely not. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. All of this AI-powered magic probably comes at a price, right?
Ah, the age-old question. How much is this going to cost me?
Because let's be real, job hunting is already stressful enough. The last thing you need is another hefty expense to add to the mix.
I hear you. But here's the good news. RoleCatcher actually offers a free version of their platform.
Really?
Yeah, and it's not just some watered-down version with limited features either. You get access to a lot of their core functionality, including that RoleCatcher.capture tool we talked about.
Okay, so you can at least test the waters before diving in head first.
Exactly. And then, if you decide you want the full AI experience, they have paid plans that unlock all the bells and whistles.
Makes sense. So for those listeners who are now intrigued and maybe a little less terrified of the robots taking over our jobs, what can they expect from those paid plans?
Well, that's where we'll unpack the nitty-gritty of their pricing and the additional benefits you get with their premium subscription. Because it turns out there's a lot more to explore. It's almost like they're giving you a sneak peek behind the curtain.
Right, and demystifying this whole AI thing a bit.
Exactly. Because it doesn't have to be this scary, intimidating force that's coming for our jobs.
Yeah, it's more like, how can we work with these advancements? How can we leverage them to our advantage?
100%. And that brings us back to those paid plans you mentioned. What's the damage if someone wants to go all in with RoleCatcher and unlock the full AI experience?
Well, the good news is it's not going to break the bank
Yeah.
compared to, say, hiring a human career coach,
Mhm.
which, let's be honest, can cost an arm and a leg.
Seriously. So what are we talking about here?
From what I've seen, their premium subscription, they call it RoleCatcher Copilot AI. It's a fraction of the cost of even a single session with a career coach.
Okay, now we're talking. So it's like having a condensed, always-on AI coach in your pocket.
Exactly. You get personalized feedback on your resume,
Right,
interview
yeah.
prep tailored to specific jobs. They even have these advanced career guidance resources that you unlock with the paid plan.
Interesting. So it sounds like they've really tried to make this accessible to a wide range of job seekers, not just those who have a ton of cash to throw around.
Exactly. They seem to be all about democratizing access to these resources, which I think is fantastic.
I agree. Because everyone deserves a fair shot in today's job market, regardless of their background or budget.
100%.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into RoleCatcher, what are your final takeaways?
Well, first and foremost, I think it's clear that they're onto something here. They've managed to create a platform that's both innovative and user-friendly, combining cutting-edge AI technology with practical career advice.
Yeah, it's like they found that sweet spot between human intuition and AI-powered insights.
Exactly.
And that's a powerful combination.
It is. And while no tool can guarantee you'll land your dream job, I think RoleCatcher gives you a significant leg up. It equips you with the knowledge, the resources, and the confidence to navigate the job search process more effectively.
And maybe, just maybe, make it a little less soul-crushing along the way.
Right. Because job hunting doesn't have to be a nightmare.
Amen to that. So for our listeners who are ready to ditch the soul-crushing job boards and embrace a more strategic AI-powered approach, RoleCatcher might just be the sidekick you've been waiting for.
I'd say it's worth checking out. At the very least, give their free version a spin. You've got nothing to lose.
Exactly. Explore their resources, play around with their tools, and see if it's a good fit for you. Who knows? Your dream job might be just a RoleCatcher capture away.
And on that note, it's time for us to sign off.
This has been The Deep Dive, signing off. Until next time, happy job hunting.